Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and this is Shannon's Book Nook. And today we're going to be going over my January TBR. Let's get into it. So before we get started, you may have noticed a little bit of a change. I got my hair cut yesterday. I cut off a lot of hair and it feels great. I love my new haircut. I love my little curtain bangs. But yeah, so it's a fresh start. And the Delulu is real for 2026. We are praying that it will be better than 2025. But the Delulu is still there because this TBR is a little crazy, a little out of control. Why did I pick so many books? I don't know. Why do I do this to myself? So, I have 12 books that I'm going to go over in this video. However, the list on my notes app probably has about 5 more books to it. There's no way I'm going to get to all of those books. There's no way. So let's talk about the first book. So up first, I have 59 Minutes by Holly Seddon. This was sent to me by Atria, so I need to get it read. And I don't know, I love this cover, this purple. It may be showing up a little red on yours, but it is a dark purple, and I love it. So it says, you have 59 minutes until everything and everyone you love will be lost forever. What will you do with that time? Carrie is on her way home from work. It's an ordinary evening, and she is looking forward to seeing her family. Then her phone blares. Severe alert, nuclear missile threat to South England. 59 minutes until impact. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a test. Chaos erupts around her. Her spouse and child, who are normally just a commute of a few minutes away, might as well be on Mars for all the chances she has of seeing them again. When Frankie and her fiance get the terrifying alert, they are on their way to a country retreat. Frankie is blissfully and newly pregnant, but her joy is shattered by the realization that there may be no world to bring her baby into. Miss Dab is already spiraling because her 13-year-old daughter is missing. Panicked, she is on a mission to track her down. Then she hears sirens wailing across the moor. The TV confirms that her evening is about to get a whole lot worse. 3 women, 3 families, one last chance to be together before the end. All they have is 59 minutes. It's kind of terrifying to think about, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. It's actually terrifying. I have Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver, also on my January TBR. This is also another book that is on my 26 and 2026. So it's also the last book in the Ruinous Love trilogy, and I am shocked that I have not already read this one. So it's a dark rom-com. I loved Butcher and Blackbird. I thought what was the other one? Leather and Lark. Leather and Lark was okay, and I think that's why I was kind of hesitant to pick this one up. But the back says, the steamy finale to the #1 New York Times and USA bestselling Ruinous Love trilogy, a friends with benefits dark romantic comedy packed with murder, mayhem, and spice. I think that's why I love it so much, because it's got the 2 elements of romance that I love. It's on the darker side, but we've also got some comedy, and it is wildly unhinged. So I am super excited to check this one out. This one features Dr. Fionn Kane. He is running from a broken heart, one he hopes to mend in small town Nebraska, far away from his almost fiance and his derailed surgical career. It's a simpler life, head down, hard work, and absolutely no romantic relationships. He wants none of the circus he left behind in Boston. But then the real circus finds him. Motorcycle performer Rose Evans has spent a decade on the road with the Circus, and it suits her just fine, especially when she has the urge to indulge in a little murder and she's not in the spotlight. But when a kill goes awry and she ends up with a broken leg, Rose finds herself stuck in Nebraska at the home of an adorably nerdy town doctor. Super cute. Then I have The Main Character by Jacqueline Goldis. This is also sent to me by Atria, and it's also on my 26 and 2026. We are starting strong by adding a 26 and 2026 book onto my TBR. Let's hope I get to it. So I believe this is a thriller. Okay. So that one's also, I would consider that one a thriller as well. 59 minutes. All aboard the Orient Express, where a best-selling thriller author is pulling the strings on a luxurious trip down the Italian coast. But is she plotting a dream trip or a nightmare? Excuse me. So I remember this one. I read it in my 26 and 2026 little TBR video. So if you want to hear the synopsis, go check that video out. But this one is about an author who puts together this trip on a train in the Italian countryside, and things start to happen. Crazy things start to happen. And she has some family on board that she is involving in the chaos. So I'm excited for this one. All right, so this next one is actually like a twofer. I'm going to be reading Meg and Joe by Virginia Cantra. Now, this I have already read, but I read it probably about 2 or 3 years ago at this point. So it's been a while. And I need to reread it so I can read Beth and Amy, which is the second book in this little duology. So these two books are a retelling, a modernization of Little Women. That is probably the only classic I love and adore, and so retellings can be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to read both of these. Reread this one. I'm hoping to reread this one, like it's probably going to be one of my first books, and then hopefully I will get to Beth and Amy to finish it out. So if I'm going to read the first one, not the second one. The March sisters, Reliable Meg, Independent Joe, Stylish Amy, and Shy Beth, have grown up to pursue their separate dreams. When Joe followed her ambitions to New York City, she never thought her career in journalism would come crashing down, leaving her struggling to stay afloat in a gig economy as a prep cook and secret food blogger. Meg appears to have the life she always planned, the handsome husband, the adorable toddlers, the house in the charming subdivision, but sometimes getting everything you've ever wanted isn't all it's cracked up to be. When their mother's illness forces the sisters home to North Carolina for the holidays, they'll rediscover what really matters. One thing's for sure, they'll need the strength of the family and the power of sisterhood to remake their lives and reimagine their dreams. So, I'm super excited to get back into this one. The next book is going to be my book club pick. Funny story, because I picked this one and I had several options for the group and they were all like, oh, they all look great. And I chose this one because on like the Stuff Your Kindle Day and Stuff Your Earbuds Day, I got a copy of the ebook for free and I got a copy of the audiobook for free. So I wanted to read this book. I totally forgot that I also bought a physical copy of this book, which has some cute little sprayed edges. And the artwork inside. So we're going to be reading Chasing the Wild by Elliot Rose, which is a cowboy romance. And it's going to be the first cowboy romance for some people in the group. And I'm super excited. So it says, in this spicy new Forbidden Love series debut novel from internationally bestselling author Elliot Rose, age is just a number and attraction is everything. What happens when you're snowed in on a mountain ranch in Montana with the one man who you definitely should not be fantasizing about? I've always done what was expected of me. Layla Birch, the good girl, forced to grow up too fast, to take care of everything myself. I had a plan, only I didn't count on him, Colton Wilder, the cowboy nearly twice my age. He's my dream man. One who takes care of me, gives me a job, and makes my pulse thud harder every time he comes near. My ex-boyfriend's father. The nights are long and cold on top of this mountain. As the snow grows thick and the tension builds between us, we're both inching closer to a line we shouldn't cross. Each day, it grows harder to resist the man who looks at me with longing in his eyes. It's tempting to forget about being the good girl for once. No one would find out, would they? So the next book I'm going to talk about is a nonfiction book that is on my nonfiction TBR, which that video should be coming out either right before this or right after this video. So, The Woman in Me, which is Britney Spears' memoir. I'm very excited to read this one. It's been on my list for a while. It has been, like, pretty much since it's come out, and I just have not read it. I don't know why, but I am excited I love Britney. I grew up listening to her music, and it was just sad the direction that things went for her, unfortunately, because of her crappy family and some of the people that were around her. So I'm really excited to hear her story and, what happened from her point of view. So The Woman in Me is a book that I want to get to in January. Another book that I want to get to is A Call for Kelp by Bree Baker. This is a cozy mystery series. This is book 4. And I have been enjoying and loving this series so much. And we have Everly Swan, she comes back to her small little North Carolina hometown, where her 2 aunts live. And she opens up a tea shop and a little cafe. And crazy murders happen around this small town. And so it's a lot of fun to see her try to be an amateur sleuth. And some of the things that happen are craziness. Like in this small little town, there's so much that's happening. But I am enjoying this series so much. So I want to continue reading it. And hopefully, I think there are 7 books total. So this is book 4. So after I read this one, I'll have 3 left. Then I want to read The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is book 2 in her Windy City series. I have read this book completely out of order. Okay, so I read Caught Up first, which is still by far my favorite in the series, which was the 3rd book, if I didn't say that. Then I went back and I read book 1, which Mile High, I think is what it was called. And then I read Play Along, which is book 4. And The Right Move is book 2. So I have read this series all out of order, but that's okay. I'm really excited to get back into this one. It is a sports romance, and I believe this one features basketball. And so each book kind of features a little bit of a different. So Caught Up was baseball. Mile High was, I can't remember now off the top of my head what it was, but I loved it. Why can't I remember what sport it was? Anyways, Play Along was that baseball as well? I think there's football. There's a football one as well. But I'm super excited to get back into this because it's been a while since I've read a Liz Tomford book, and I love her romances. Up next, I have Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I'm going back to Rome, Kentucky. This is book 3, I believe, in the When in Rome series. And this one features Emily and Jack, who are both 2nd grade teachers and neighbors. This is a rivals to lovers trope book that they have to kind of work together to accomplish a goal. And so Emily has lost, or her manuscript has been lost or stolen, I'm not sure which, and she needs Jack's help to help her get it back. And he agrees to help her, and chaos ensues. So I'm super excited to read Beg, Borrow, or Steal. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be accomplished. Next, I would love to get to King of Greed by Anna Huang. I don't know if I'm actually going to get to this one, but I did not get to read any of the King, or this, whatever this trilogy is called, or this series is called. I didn't get to read any of the books in 2025, so I need to prioritize getting this series completed because I have so many series that I have started and haven't finished. So one of my goals in 2026 is to complete the series that I've started, if that's what I want to do. And this is one that I have enjoyed. So King of Greed features Dominic Davenport and Alessandra Davenport. They are married. It's a second chance romance. Alessandra is more of a trophy wife, and Dominic, doesn't really treat her right. And so they kind of go astray. And so this is their book on second chance, bringing it back together, figuring things out. And I'm super excited to check this one out because I don't read a lot of second chance romance. It's not really one that I gravitate towards. So getting this one in will be great. Next, I have Dr. Strangebeard by Penny Reed. This is book 5 in the Winston Brothers series. This is another series that I'm in the middle of that I am loving, that I just did not get to in 2025. This has been on my TBR all year, and I did not get to it. So this one features Roscoe Winston and Simone, I can't remember her last name, but I do believe that this is a second chance romance. So this is the second one I'm going to have on my TBR. How did I do that? But I'm super excited. I love Penny Reed and her humor that she has in the books that she writes. So I'm super excited to read Dr. Strangebeard and see if I want to continue with the series, because I do believe there are interconnected series with this one. I don't know if I'm going to go and do all that, but I do believe that there are 2 more Winston Brothers that books that I need to read after this one, if I remember correctly. So Dr. Strangebeard is hopefully going to be read in January. So there you have it. Those are the books that I would like to check out in January. Will I get to all of them? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Or will my TBR be completely derailed by something else? Who knows? But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched it this long, don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you next time. Bye.